you're going to be doing the project. There's two parts to it. There's going to be a drug chart part where you are going to be researching, and I say researching very loosely because it's not about researching in detail, in depth, but you're going to be looking up the certain drugs that I have labeled on the chart here. I already have them marked on the chart. You're going to be doing the whole chart. Now, when I say you're doing the whole chart, you're not going to be doing it alone. So if you want to work with somebody and you say, oh, okay, well, so-and-so, you do page 1, I'll do page 2, and we'll share. Now, this drug chart you get to use on your test. So you don't want to lose this. And then when we start going through each drug, then you're going to be making sure it's correct and ready for the test. Okay, the test won't be for a while, all right? I want you to write right now on the top, it is due April 11th. April 11th. You will have ample time in class to do the drug chart as well as to do the project part, okay? All right, let's go to marijuana. We're going to do that one as an example first. Now, from the notes you took a couple classes ago, we're going to just go through each category as an example, and this is what you're going to be doing for all of them, okay? I would also write in pencil, because if you mess up, it's a great way to just erase instead of crossing off. I will be posting extra of these if you wanted to reprint and jazz it up and make it nice and organized, okay? Because eventually, yours may look like this one. And don't get scared, okay? But it may look like this eventually. All right? Yeah. But this person, anything and everything that you write is fair game for the test, okay? So on your chart, you can only use your chart for the test. Now let's look at marijuana, okay, and the different drug categories. Now, let's go to the first one. It says street names. There's a lot of street names for marijuana. Lots. Give me some examples. All you need is 2 for each one. Logan.
You got the Mary Jane.
Okay, Mary Jane.
Dope.
Okay, dope, weed, pot. Okay, whatever. These won't be on your test, but why is there street names? What is the reason behind that? Why, Logan?
Cover it up.
To what? Cover it up. Sure. Okay. All right. Next one is our method of use category. Do drugs use all 4 methods of use when taking that into their body, into the bloodstream? No. Okay. So when it says here 1, 2, 3, 4, you're not writing all of them. And don't write 1, 2, 3, 4. Write out what the method of use is. Okay. So for marijuana, there's 1 that never happens. And there's 3 that can. Marijuana can be used that way. Does anyone know which one is definitely not a method of use for marijuana? Jamie? Injection, okay? So we would just put, in that category, we would put mouth, because again, it could be baked in it, there's edibles, okay, drinks. Inhalation, because all marijuana is now vaped, okay? And absorption, because there are some creams and lotions that could be absorbed through the skin with that THC or the CBD oils, okay? All right, which is not marijuana, but. Okay, so that's for method of use. Now, the next category, so important, the drug category. Notice how it says 1, because there's a 20-point section on your test that says match the drug with the drug category. And you only pick one. Yes, drugs do multiple things. Yes, marijuana does multiple things. But what drug category ultimately is marijuana in? No trickery here. Jaden.
Depression.
Okay, that's what it does. That's great. does that. That's one thing it does. What drug category is it in, guys? There's 8 of them you could pick from. Joey,
Number 4.
what's that drug category say?
Marijuana.
Yes! No trickery here. It's in its own category. Don't write its own. Write marijuana. Because you know it's a stimulant, depressant, and hallucinogen. So put that for drug category. And now for the last category, the signs and symptoms, hazards of use. 3 total, not 3 for each. A sign or symptom could be anything immediate. It could be also long term. It's something that happens when someone uses the drug. It could be red eyes even. It could be immediate. A hazard isn't always going to be death. And please do not write death for all of them because that's not true, okay? And we want to do the research. This is where our research part comes into play, okay? So that's for the drug chart. What sites you're using, because some people say, oh my gosh, I can't be looking up drugs on my computer. That's okay. Miss Gorton pulls books for me every year. You can always use the books if you don't feel comfortable on your phone or on your Chromebook. But I have sites that are clear. So any questions on the drug chart before I get to the project portion? How many drugs need to be researched on the drug chart? All. But you can, of course, split it up and say, hey, Malia, we're working together. You do one side, I'll do the next, and we'll share, okay? Do not ever lend your drug chart to anyone. They will lose it. And all that hard work, you have to redo it. This is 45% of your grade. This is part 1 of the project portion drug chart, okay? All right, let's look at the next sheet, the drug prevention project part. Now, where you are going to be using the sites to research are on the back of this sheet. I already have them written down for you. These are all cleared from our IT department. So you use any of these. Okay, now let's talk about the project part because you get a choice for the project. Drug abuse can affect all 3 sides of your health triangle. The physical effects include irritability, sleeplessness, and even heart failure. The emotional effects of drugs can interfere with brain functioning and make it difficult to think and concentrate. They can also increase anxiety and depression. Socially, teens may also withdraw from family and friends and cause an increased risk of addiction. Making responsible decisions and setting goals for oneself that can help in choosing a drug-free life. This project is going to be, you can make a brochure, you can make a Google slideshow, you can make a video, you can make a book, you can make a TikTok, you can make anything else that would inform your peers about the dangers of drugs. You can make a skit, you can do really anything as long as it has the things on this sheet included. And I'm going to show you some examples too. So you must have 1 drug per person. If you work by yourself, then of course you're only researching 1 drug further. And so it's part 1 and part 2, which we'll get to in a minute. If you work with up to 3 people, that is the most in your group, then you need a drug researched per person. So if you work with 2 people, how many drugs would you have in your project? 2. Very good. Okay. If you work with 3 people, how many drugs are in your project? 3. Okay, so each person, let's look at part 1, needs to have this in their project. A slogan. Okay, go insane in the brain with cocaine. A slogan grabs the reader in and says, okay, why is this drug so dangerous? Remember, this is a drug prevention project, not drug promotion. So if there is any promotion of this or showing that the drug is great and try it, you will fail. Pictures as well included. If that shows that a person is having a great time and this and that, that's not appropriate, okay? All right, 2 street names. Most of this is taken from your drug chart. If you decide to pick a drug from the drug chart, could you go off the drug chart and pick something else? Of course, okay? 1, 2, 3, or 4, the method of use, so whatever method of use that the drug uses. 1 drug category, make sure that drug category is correct. I will take points off for the project if the drug category is not correct. Signs and symptoms, hazards of use, you need 2 for each, and then you need 2 extra interesting information for that drug. You can find that a lot of places, okay? You can find them in the book as well. Maybe a history of the drug, maybe what it looks like or whatever, okay? That's interesting information. Please don't put fun fact, okay? Not fun fact. It's interesting information. Now, pictures are optional if you so choose. No matter how many people are in your group, you only need to include part 2 one time. Okay, so if you have 3 people total in your group, part 2 for the project, the rest of the drug project must-haves, you only need to include it one time total, or else it's really redundant. It's, just repeating itself. So, you do need 2 treatment options. They need to be real. They need to be real phone numbers. They need to be real addresses. I've had people give these to loved ones before or send them information. They need to be real. 3 risk factors, 4 protective factors, and 3 resistance skills. Where would you find those? Well, first of all, you can find them online, or they're all in detail in the note packet that you took notes in last class and the class before that. So here it is. Resistance skills, there's a whole bunch. Protective factors, you can pick from these options or come up with your own. Okay? You can make, like I said, anything you want. A brochure. A brochure, people are like, well, what is a brochure? A brochure is like, or a pamphlet, whatever you want to call it. It's like a trifold, okay? Where it opens up and gives information. So, if you want to hand make one, you can do that too. You don't even have to use a computer. If you want to make a poster with information, you can do that. Now the slideshows, I just want to show you, and I will post slideshows online. But is there any questions before I show you some examples? Okay, you can stop it.